Hi everyone, welcome to Tim's blog. Before we go into the topic of today, I would just like to say this. Love is non-discriminatory and love can find you anywhere. And um, this dialogue, it's not about criticizing anybody for whoever they choose to be with. It's just an observation that has caught my interest, and as we do on this blog, we tackle pointers that triggers our interest, and that's why we're just discussing this. You cannot control who you fall in love with. Love is non-discriminatory, and in everything we do, let love lead. I love happy relationships, and I believe anybody in their right senses would love happy relationships. So having said that, enjoy this dialogue, and please, your contrary opinions are most welcome. And in the course of listening, you realize nobody was put down or it's just a dialogue from observations and the patterns that kind of sticks out. Enjoy. Cheers. Hi everyone, welcome to Tim's blog, where we discuss issues that tickle or topics that tickle our interest. And today the topic of debate is, are Nigerian men better affectionate to foreign women? I'm sure if you're in the exposed class, this might have been a topic or a subject of curiosity, because you would have probably come across interracial couples, or even if it's not interracial, but like if you're from Nigeria, a Nigerian man in a relationship, it could be just a dating relationship or a marital relationship with somebody that isn't Nigerian. Okay, I'll go straight into my opinion. Of course, this is a platform of discussion, of debate, so I'm very much open to your perspective. Definitely, that is what this is all about anyway. My honest answer to that question, are Nigerian men better affectionate to foreign women, is a big yes. And there are many reasons that I've carefully observed that has contributed to this, of which is not entirely on the obvious facts, but that the Nigerian woman, yes, many Nigerian women have contributed to this. Okay, should I say to this perception? Because I really don't want to see it as, it could be a perception to some other people, but it is something that I have seen, and I know what I've seen. I know what I've observed. All right. Before, in the past, when I see that show of extra attention that the average Nigerian man doesn't really give to the Nigerian woman, which is the fact, to be honest, but of course, like I said, I'm open to different opinions. Yes, because your experience could interpret something else to you. The one that I used to really think was the reason in the past, which is still part of the reason, but it's not the only reason, is that a Nigerian man being with a foreign lady is usually more advantageous for them, in the sense that the foreign national factor which can open better opportunities for them. We know that being a Nigerian citizen, as at today, things I believe will change sooner than we expect. But as at today, as at this moment that I'm making this video, being a Nigerian citizen offers you nothing really much. You struggle, there is a probability that you will have to struggle and fight for survival. I said, aside from registering your business and all that, I've never seen where the government really pushes your talent for you to become the person of your dreams, the great person of your dreams. So, for me, I used to see it from that perspective, that being with a foreign woman, especially from first world countries and African countries where they even have better opportunities, is better advantageous to these Nigerian men. And of course, when something is useful to you, you will be extra nice, extra nurturing of that thing, of that person. It is just how human psychology works. So, and when I say better nurturing, I realize that there are many things that the Nigerian man tolerates from a foreign woman that he doesn't tolerate from an average, that most Nigerian men will not tolerate from a Nigerian woman. And that is, number one, the issue of cooking. In fact, to a Nigerian man, it's a taboo for a Nigerian woman not to know how to cook. But I've seen that these men have tolerated that lack of virtue in foreign women, whereby he would even take up the cooking without caring. He would still shower her with that loving, tender care. He will be all over her, like what in normal terms is the true definition of love and romance, despite she lacking in that aspect. Secondly, the issue of being serving to the man. A Nigerian man expects a Nigerian woman to be very serving to him. There are many things that is a taboo, that comes across as a taboo in Nigeria or between Nigerian couples, whereby the woman have to, like, when I say more serving, she has to like serve his family. Like when they're having a party, for example, in their family home, she has to be present with the preparation. If she's rich enough, she can hire somebody. But even if a Nigerian man marries a foreign woman that is not very financially okay, she doesn't owe his family that kind of service. A Nigerian woman is expected to care for the kids, make sure the home is tidy. That is if she doesn't have a domestic worker. While the man is just okay. And she will still work. She will still go to work and come back, make his meals, serve his meals. And she's expected to do that honorably, ensure the laundry is in place. Many homes in Nigeria do not have washing machine. So it's either she hires somebody that would wash it or she has to wash it. If the man is very nice, like my dad, and I'm not making an excuse, he would do his own laundry by himself or take it to the dry cleaner. And we were lucky we had somebody who used to do our laundry for us. But my dad particularly didn't like people doing his laundry. So he would normally do it by himself. So going forward, the Nigerian man would expect the Nigerian woman to bridge all that gap, the home front. But you would see when it's overseas or in other countries in Africa, they share these duties, even if the woman is a housewife. And even worse still, if they are both working. They share this home chores. They both sweep, yes. Some of them even have YouTube channels where they showcase all those things. He would even cook because he would be like, she doesn't really know how to cook. And the day she decides to cook, it's like a real treat. I'm talking about now the foreign woman. And he would make a big deal out of it and say, I love you, baby. Wow, you're cooking for me today. And this doesn't cause issues in their relationships. And to be frank with you, that will cause major issues in their marriage if they were both Nigerian people. So, and looking at that kind of scenario constantly, I started wondering that what exactly is wrong. There are many Nigerian women who address their husbands. They don't call them by names. They call them with respect. Some even call their husbands daddy. So we are ruling out that factor of maybe that woman is more respectful. No. I've seen interracial couples where the wife would just tell you point blank, no, I do not like this thing. And the man will like, oh, sorry, is that why you're now getting angry? Oh, my baby, and all that. Of which if a Nigerian woman tries that, most times he'll be like, what do you mean? You will not control me in my house. That kind of mentality. Then, the issue of in-laws. The Nigerian woman is expected to also serve her in-laws. Now, I'm not talking about respect because that is natural. That is normal. Under normal circumstances, that is what it should be. But she's also expected to serve the in-laws. The mother-in-law can just come at any time, which is good. We love it. It's not that it's a burden. But there are sometimes you just want to have your own space. Sometimes. And you are not left with much of an option because that can really destroy your marriage. A Nigerian man marrying a foreign woman, definitely there will be boundaries for such things. It's always a planned holiday if she has to come. It's just what it is. They don't even suggest. There are some things they do not even suggest to their foreign partners, to be honest. Then, even worse for the Nigerian woman, many times, because we've seen this too often than to be ignored. When the man passes away, the family can just decide that the woman is not getting anything. They're taking over the property because he was really wealthy and they don't want her to marry another man and have to share their brother's property with that new man if she decides to move on in the future into another marriage. Maybe when the man passes on her current husband, and the family will just barge into their house, into their assets and seize things and take over that, which they will never try with a foreign woman. That is a sure thing. Because number one, in the foreign lands, there are laws that protect women and are strictly adhered to. You won't even try because you would land yourself in big major legal problems. But that happens to many Nigerian women. Whether you are married in the court, they don't even respect that because you can be married to a Nigerian woman, legally married in court, and have another wife and bring her without notice. But you cannot try that with a foreign woman. So all the scenario, and they tend to act more humble towards the foreign woman than the Nigerian woman. As we continue this conversation, I would point out even other aspects that crosses my mind. Let's take for an instance, there is this show 90 Day Fiancé that they do here on TV. And there's this guy called Michael and Angela. The things that Michael condoned from that Angela, he would never I'm saying this categorically. Never condone it from a Nigerian woman. So it's not an aspect, it's not a thing of being respectful. Or maybe she's doing something better that the Nigerian woman doesn't do. No. In fact, the foreign woman lives her life in freedom and still gets all that affection, respect, and understanding from that Nigerian man. And that is where I started attributing it to that. What could be the error? Why does the Nigerian woman not have high value in the sight of the Nigerian man? And at that time, the only obvious reasons that I could see was the beneficial part of a foreign passport that enables them to pursue their dreams easier. Like you can easily get a job when you have the foreign passport. You would have a better life and you'll be able to help your family members back home that are struggling. And I realized that once this men too, not all, find their feet, they leave this foreign women to come back for a Nigerian woman where can be and then they leave this foreign women and come back for the Nigerian woman that will be more serving to them. Even though now psychologically they have been modified to know that okay, there is that love and there is a way you can. So they won't actually be as worse as a Nigerian man that has married a Nigerian woman from the onset. They will still strike that balance. They will still show that romance, but it will never be as intense as what they were giving to their foreign women. You understand my point? So that was where that mentality of, probably it's because of the documentation, having a foreign woman in a foreign land, for example, would bless your chances, or even marrying a foreign woman that when you're shuttling between Nigeria and overseas, just help your chances internationally. Yeah. Then there was one other reason that crossed my mind, but it has just skipped my mind now. If I remember, I'll definitely address it. Then over time, I started seeing another aspect. So the first one I said now that I used to have in the past was strictly the foreign passport thing. Yes, which helps your chances of having a better quality life. And yes, I'll add this. What really structured my mind in that way to think that was the obvious reason was because I noticed that the very wealthy Nigerian man doesn't usually go for the foreign women per se. And even if they go for the foreign woman, they do not act that way. And let me tell you this, the way the average Nigerian, I'm just trying to be careful with my words. So the way the most Nigerian men married to foreign women behave is actually the right way to behave to a woman. It's actually that loving way, that extra loving way, that sharing, that paying attention, sharing duties is actually the right way. That is the only thing that can give a woman peace in relationships. But now because because it's not an issue to discuss, because it's not like their normal way of behavior. That is why it's a topic of discussion. As I was saying, the Nigerian man that is very wealthy, even if he marries this foreign woman, he doesn't act in that all romantic, considerate, correct consideration, because that's what it is. He doesn't act in that manner. Yes, he can, because he's wealthy. They would have like a chef, So cooking is not really an issue. Even a wealthy Nigerian man that marries a Nigerian woman, she hardly cooks. They have people who serve them in that aspect. But when I'm talking now of that typical scenario of a Nigerian man and married to a foreign woman, that they are not wealthy yet, they are comfortable, but he would share the duties. If it was a Nigerian woman, he would usually not do that. That woman would be the one to bear the brunt of that hardship, apart from the provision aspect, where she too will be providing. Despite doing all that chores, she will be providing, and the man too will be providing. But the home front, she would have to keep it. Unlike with the foreign woman, where they are not yet comfortable and they are managing their resources, but the man would also actively participate in the home front because they cannot afford for a carer. So you see the imbalance that I'm talking about. But when the man is wealthy, he would rather go for a Nigerian woman. You see my point? Or when he's now financially stable and, you end up seeing more, people divorce, even people from the same race divorce. You understand? But that cycle is just too frequent to be ignored. And that was where my mentality came from, that it could be the foreign national factor, that you want to have that foreign passport that will better your chances of having a better life. And yes, now I remember that other point. The second point that I was thinking is that came across to me, because I didn't want to really see it from a beneficial perspective entirely, was that maybe they are just amused at the thought of having something different. By that, when you don't speak the same language, there are other features that, as a Nigerian woman, we have our own features. A foreign woman would have another kind of features, definitely, because they could have longer hair, for example. They could have whiter skin. You understand? So probably the amusement of having something that you're not typically used to can also trigger that emotional anxiety to be better in love, to show more affection. You understand? So those were the two things that I had to come to terms with, that okay, maybe these are the reasons. Then over time, I started realizing, when this mentor started speaking, of course, because it's always a topic, when people see interracial couples, they ask that, why are you so in love? That is it because she's white, for example? Is it because she's a foreign woman? And the men would say that and it's true, I take this from them because it's something I've observed too over time, that when they show that kind of affection to Nigerian women and understanding and intense romance to Nigerian women, they are usually called a fool. In Nigerian terms, mumu. And that is true. I've observed that. In the recently concluded BB Naija Shine Your Eye, there is this guy, his name is Saga. He fell in love with this Nigerian. Yes, she's colored though, but for the better part of her life, she was raised in Nigeria, brought up in Nigeria. Her father is Indian, her mom is an Edo woman. And this guy loved this girl. She doesn't even have like a foreign accent. She speaks like a typical Edo woman. And this guy so much loved her, displayed so much, the kind of love that I believe every woman should want. Because for me, that is what love is. The only reason why this is that this is becoming a topic right now is because that true love is not being exhibited to a Nigerian woman in most cases. But when there is like an interracial thing, or when there is an interracial thing, or married from another ethnicity outside the shores of Nigeria, that kind of love is usually displayed by the Nigerian man. And sorry, something is taking my attention, but I'm correcting it now. But when it comes to wait, where did I stop? Yes, Saga. And this guy displayed so much love and affection and attention to her emotions. Paid special detail to the attention of this girl's emotions. 95% of Nigerian women who watched that show called this guy a mumu, a fool. And that was why I started realizing that, probably that is why the Nigerian man has to brave up his heart and make it hard and let him just give that kind of tough love aura. Because that is true. And not just that, over and over again, I stumbled on a video of this interracial couple, Ling and Lam. I'm going to put it on the screen. Please watch that video and hear his opinion on why it seems as though foreign women get the love and attention better than what is given to the Nigerian woman. And to be honest, I couldn't agree with him better. Yes, I saw reason in his argument, because I've actually started saying that when a Nigerian woman is loved correctly, the man in question is called a fool. Even if the woman is appreciative of it, the people around will call him a fool. But when a Nigerian man gives the same show of affection to a foreign woman, even Nigerian women will let it slide and be like, yes, that's what she deserves. Even the Nigerian woman has given that verdict on themselves that it's the foreign woman that deserves that kind of love. His family members would start suspecting that woman of doing something diabolical. So you see that self-devalued image that we have given ourselves. So I really think that is what this topic is very broad, and I know it will still be addressed again in the future. But I just really need your opinion, because someone like me, I love and appreciate that true love and affection, and in no way will I take advantage of it. I can remember vividly in the comment sections when people were insulting the Saga guy, I was going all out to defend his person. I appreciated it. I really gave my opinion that is how romance should be, because that is what I would appreciate as true love. But also the Nigerian man also needs to check himself. Would you marry a Nigerian woman who doesn't know how to cook? Not even cooking your traditional meals. Now I'm talking about not even knowing how to cook their own continental dishes. And they will give excuse. The average Nigerian man will use the bathroom and expect the wife to clean up the mess. I'm telling you, that's just what it is. But you see that when they're married to foreign women, they psychologically know that they have to take care of that stuff. In fact, the woman, I've seen a YouTube video where the woman categorically told the man, they were having a video and he wanted to drop something on her. She was like, the bin, put it in the bin. And was like, okay, I'll put it definitely. But after the he wanted to get up, but he controlled himself. Like, and said, okay, I'll do it after the video. So you see, but if it was and their love continued, it didn't change anything. But if it was a Nigerian woman that reacted that way, number one, it would have gone viral. She would have received so many backlashes. So the Nigerian man too has to place a value on all women, not stereotyping foreign Nigerian women from foreign women and believing and acting in a way that portrays that the foreign woman psychologically has more value in front of them than the Nigerian woman. And most of those things as well, it's something that has gone on from generation to generation, to be honest, because most of these men saw how their dads treated their moms, their Nigerian moms. And psychologically, it has created an impression that that is how women should be, and that is how women should be treated. But what baffles me is, without even being told, once they are with a foreign woman, it just, their whole psyche and their whole, everything that they have psychologically learned and the pattern they have always gone with the Nigerian women is just unlearned. And they start behaving correctly without even being told. I also attribute it to the fact that we see it in movies, we see it on reality shows. The foreign men actually treat their women, foreign men in other countries, treat their women better. So I also felt that, okay, probably they're trying to follow the pattern of how those foreign men always treat their women in their countries. Because we have to be honest, when a relationship is good in a foreign country, for example, maybe like white people, there's a way that man treats that woman with so much tender, loving care. And there is that balance of sharing chores and finances, and he just pays attention to our emotions. And they are freer. They don't have that fearful relationship kind of thing. So I also felt probably that is why the Nigerian man automatically feels, this is what she's used to. I have to treat her this way. So it all boils down to Nigerians treating each other well and with attention to detail. That is just the truth. I'll leave it for that today, and I'm sure if I remember anything, I'll revisit this topic. We need to really do better amongst ourselves. I support interracial relationship. I like interracial relationship or inter-ethnic relationships, because you never control who you fall in love with. So this is not an attack on interracial relationship, but it's addressing the change in personalities when you're dealing with yourselves in relationships as Nigerians and when you deal with each other as foreign nationals or interracial couples. All right, guys, please, I want you to give me your opinion. I want to hear your perspective. If there are anything I've left out, please discuss it. I would love to hear your perception about this. I'll leave you guys now and love you. And please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Yes, we are new. We're building our confidence level. It will only get better from here. Thank you. Peace out.